One of the best decisions I've ever made was humbling myself enough as to listen to other people in order to take better decisions. Let me explain a little bit about what I mean and go back roughly 2 years ago when I truly just started my journey out. So, if you might check out my channel once in a while, and if you're an avid viewer, I guess you could say that I have been on a journey over the past 4 years, almost 5 years, to become a massively better individual in my own life and get what I want, truly desire out of my own life. What kind of lifestyle I want, what kind of objectives I want to accomplish, and all those sorts of things related to success, not only financially, but also taking care of a family. And so, what I truly wanted to speak about today is what was the best decision I've ever made and how that is linked to your environment and how that is linked to the people you talk to and how that is linked to being humble in order to understand what other people are talking to you about and truly being okay going through hard decisions and sacrificing your past self in order to grow like a phoenix from the ashes of that past self into a better individual all around. So what I'm going to be talking about today is an event that happened roughly 2 years ago, like I just mentioned. So if I zoom back, I was living in France at the time, couch surfing from place to place in different people's houses and going to hotels, going to hostels, going to those kinds of student hostels that are super cheap, where there's 4, 5, 6 bunk beds in the same room with a bunch of people that are just sleeping there for the night. That's basically what I was doing for a couple months or so. And honestly, at this time, it really felt like a massive downgrade from what I had before. Before I had 2-bedroom apartment, I had a pet cat, I had a full 3-monitor setup, gaming setup, chair, everything you fucking needed to stream any kind of video game online. And so I felt extremely comfortable. I went to the gym, I had my own little supermarket nearby. I didn't really have to think about anything too dramatic. And honestly, I was making good progress, but comparatively to 4 years ago, 2 years in, I was making good progress. But then I decided, you know what? It's actually not a good place to be. I was too comfortable. And there was a lot of people that kept telling me hey, you should not be comfortable at this stage of your life, because if you are, it is going to reduce your inner drive and it is going to increase the amount of time you take in order to achieve the goals you set out to achieve. So what did I do? First, couch surfing, completely got rid of the old apartment, and most of my stuff I sold it actually, and made it extremely minimalistic. Could carry everything in one backpack, one gym bag, and maybe one suitcase, and that's pretty much it. And so I could carry everything with my 2 hands in my back. So I was basically just going around doing my own same old, just working as hard as I could. And at this time I didn't really know what to do, because by couch surfing you're not really tied to one specific location, but at the same time I didn't have the money in order to get my own place, you know what I mean? So I had a chat with a friend and a couple other people, including one of my mentors that I'm still talking to this day, and he recommended that either I shake up the box or I do something completely dramatic, or like I completely change what I'm doing right now in order to, how would I put this? In order to grow. And he gave me this analogy about the phoenix rising from the ashes, where he sheds his own past self and he creates a new version of himself and goes all out to get it. And he just deletes the past self and he creates a new one from the ashes, right? So this metaphor stuck with me, and I was like, you know what, how can I actually do the same thing in my life? And at this time I had two options. One of my good friends, I thought about, we had a chat together, we were looking for maybe getting a place together so that way we could split costs. We were living in the same area, so it was like, okay, well, you know what, it's actually not too bad of an idea. I could definitely see myself doing this. It's a new experience. It could be a good idea because the guy I like, the guy is a good friend. I'm still talking to him to this day. So it would have been a good experience, but at the same time I knew that it was kind of an extension of my comfort zone, right? It was not too far off. So what I ended up doing though is looking at all of the things in my life, everything that I had at my disposal. I wrote everything down on a piece of paper. This is something you can do as well, by the way. I wrote everything down on a piece of paper, listing out every single asset that I had, resource, skill, knowledge, information, app on my computer or my phone. I had my phone, my equipment, literally all that I had at my disposal, the people, the relationships, the everybody, every contact, every friend that I had. Listed everything out, and then I noticed that, wait a minute, I was born in France, right? Regular French person, but my dad was born in New Zealand. So in that case, that means I am a descendant, like a passport descendant, basically, a citizen by descent. So I was like, you know what? I had a chat with him, and I said like, hey, wouldn't I be able to get a passport to just go over to New Zealand and live over there? And he said, yeah, you actually could. You could just ask the New Zealand government for citizenship by descent, and they would grant it to you. And I said, okay, well, that's pretty cool. So I reached out to a couple people, a couple family members, my grandmother, my aunt, uncle, all those people that live here, where I am now in New Zealand. And I decided, you know what, I'm gonna prepare really quick for the next couple months my stuff. I'm gonna sell all of my stuff, and then I'm just gonna move to New Zealand to just figure it out. And roughly 2 years ago, that's what I did. Got here, like basically sold all of my stuff, took what I had, which says my gym bag, my suitcase, and my backpack, and chucked everything in there, sold everything else, and then just moved to New Zealand. Took a plane, boom, got here. And for the first couple months, I started to adapt because this is a new place. I never actually lived here for a long period of time as an adult. So there was a lot of things I needed to take care of. So bank account, passport, everything else, visa, whatever, living costs, what can I buy at the store, what can I buy in different places, what gym can I go to, all these sorts of things, right? And then I started slowly realizing that I was still in a comfortable position because I was living in my grandmother's house. So she told me one day, hey, you need to either start paying rent to help because I can't afford all of your food and all of your stuff because I'm retired, I don't make any money. And you have to either pay rent or you need to go out there and flat with other people so that way I'm not like supporting you because like I can't, like I don't have the money. I was like, okay, no worries, like that's fine. I think I paid like maybe like 1 or 2 weeks rent, and then by that time I had found a new place, started flatting with other people, which allowed me to split costs. I was flatting with 3 other people at the time, which allowed me to experience what flighting with other people, random people, was all about and what that looked like. And so that was a pretty interesting experience. I was pretty grateful that the owners of the house, the guys who were in the house, the head tenants, were fitness people, so they had a home gym, which was pretty fucking nice when I actually think about it. Now, from there, did a bunch of things, flatted with a bunch of other people, changed places. Now, instead of living outside of the city, I'm living in the city. So, instead of living on the outskirts, I'm living in the center now. So, this is the best decision I've ever taken. Why is it the best decision though? It's because I decided one day to shake up the box so dramatically and to see it through all the way to the end in order to completely change who I was, in order to create a new character, like the phoenix rising from the ashes of his past life. And it allowed me not only to adapt and completely learn a new country, but it also allowed me to reconnect or to completely connect with people that I'd never spoken to before. Family members that I'd never actually spent time with. And it allowed me to create or to relink bonds that I previously not had or previously forgotten about with the people that I know here now, which is absolutely amazing. Family is a beautiful thing. But the biggest thing is, by the simple fact of doing this at the same time that I was building my own business, it forced my brain to adapt to what was going on. So like, it was either get money from a job or get money from working with clients through my business. And so what ended up happening was I got a job for a couple months, and at the same time I started getting clients. And so I was like, you know what, this is actually a really good position I'm in now. And I went from having like $1 or $3 in my bank account to a couple $1,000 a month every single time. So I was like, okay, this is pretty good. And from there, I just adapted more and more and more, and I just put myself out there. Like, I used to be the shy, introverted kid that used to get stressed the fuck out even speaking to a woman out there, like just asking them out on a date or like getting to know them. I would just stress the fuck out. And same thing with any kind of public like speaking or any kind of interaction with others. I would always be the guy that was stressed the fuck out, a super anxiety, like through the roof panic attack. And by doing this, I forced myself out of that comfort zone that I was in before and truly embraced going out there and speaking to business owners and knocking on doors and saying hi to people and introducing myself and doing that and facing rejection after rejection after rejection after rejection, and just having people telling me like, hey, no, we're not interested, we don't care, like, who are you, we don't give a fuck. Like, just doing that over and over and over again taught me so much about social interaction. And slowly I started getting better at selling other people and other businesses on what I was selling and doing business with them, getting into relationships. And then that transitioned into my dating life. So my dating life got much better. I started going on a bunch of dates. I started learning, failing. I was just basically going on dates, fucking it up, going on dates, fucking it up, going on dates, fucking it up. And I was learning every single time, okay, what have I done? What does that look like? Why have they not been interested? Why have they not reciprocated? Why have they done this? Why have they done that? And just going through the loop over and over and over and over again. And then I started learning so many things. not only about myself, about my own body, about my own mind, about my own business, but also but also about other people. It's like I was learning about women, I was learning about business, I was learning about people, I was learning about individuals, I was learning how they think and how they behaved, which not only helps me in my own business, but also helps my social interactions with people, which is extremely valuable in today's world. Like, I've made a couple videos on this subject so far, which is social interaction is such an underratedly fucking massively unfair advantage when you are actually good at it and you know what you want and you know how to use it. So for all the people listening to me right now, looking at this video being like, okay, this is actually a quite interesting story, or maybe you think it's actually quite mid, but I don't fucking know. Maybe there's something better that you've done that you can share in the comments. I would be interested to see what that is though. So far though, what I would heavily recommend is either finding a way to completely change your life, like turn it around like 180 degrees, just like shake up the box so violently that it shakes the foundations of who you are currently, and it allows you to create this new, better life for yourself, that from the ashes like a phoenix you are reborn. I talk to my mother sometimes on the phone, and she always is so astonished as to who I was before and who I am now, and such like the drastic difference there is between those two characters in such a short period of time. Like in the first 2 years, I was just figuring stuff out. I was flirting with the idea of success. And the next 2 years after that, I built myself from nothing. No network, no people that I actually knew. Went out there, cold approached a bunch of businesses, cold approached a bunch of people, cold approached a bunch of women, improved my skills, improved my body, my physicality, improved my mindset, improved my knowledge, improved everything. And by just doing that, I'm getting people now, which is quite fucking weird when I actually think about it. I get people in my DMs now that are asking me, hey, could I be your apprentice? Are you looking for an apprentice? Like, are you looking for people to teach? Are you looking for, could you help me out with my business? Could you help me out do this? Could you, I want to spend time with you. I want to go on a date with you. I want to do this. And it's truly fucking weird, like going from being the fucking nobody to being the main character. It's very strange, but it is still something that I've succeeded in and that I would like to share on this channel more. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to let me know what you would like to know specifically about what stages in my life I've been through. Now, of course, I'm not some guy who's like 30 or 40 that can share a lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge, but I have studied a lot of different people, from the arts of strategy, the arts of power, the arts of relationships, the arts of social interaction, the arts of physicality, improving one's physique, nutrition, getting better at talking to people, getting better at controlling myself and my emotions and my energies inside of me. And so if you are interested and you really want advice on something specific, feel free to drop a question or a comment. Just, I would really be interested in helping you guys out and just providing as much value as I can at my current stage. Now, I'm only 23. I'm turning 24 this month. So that might put into perspective what kind of questions you would like to ask me. Otherwise, I am truly doing my best, and I will not stop. I will keep pushing forward because I believe that I will prevail. I will prevail over anybody else. I will succeed. There's no, I don't really know if I will succeed. I will succeed, or I will die trying. I don't care. Okay? And with that said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, leave a question down below if you want me to answer it. With that out of the way, it's a beautiful day, so it's time to get back to work and I will see you tomorrow in the next daily upload. See ya.